How do exchange sacrifices create imbalance in chess? Imagine trading a rook for a bishop or knight and suddenly the game shifts in a way you didn't expect. That's the power of an exchange sacrifice. It's a move that can turn the whole game upside down. During the middle game, players often use exchange sacrifices to create chaos and imbalance. Instead of just counting points, it's about how the pieces work together and what they control. When you give up a rook, which is usually worth 5 points, for a minor piece worth 3, you're intentionally sacrificing material. But the goal isn't just losing pieces, it's gaining something better in return. One way exchange sacrifices create imbalance is by boosting piece activity. A rook might be traded for a bishop or knight that dominates key squares or supports an attack. This active piece can be more valuable than the passive rook left behind. Another way is through structural changes. Sacrificing on a certain square can weaken your opponent's pawn structure or open lines for your pieces. For example, sacrificing on the f6 square might break open the king's defenses, making way for a direct attack. Gaining the initiative is also a big factor. When you sacrifice material, your opponent is forced to respond to your threats instead of executing their own plans. This can lead to a lasting attack or force them into a defensive stance. Sometimes, the psychological impact of a sudden sacrifice can unsettle your opponent, increasing chances they'll make mistakes. In the middle game, exchange sacrifices are especially useful for attacking the king. Sacrificing a rook near the enemy's king can open lines and remove defenders, setting up a mating net. Sometimes players trade a rook for a bishop to keep the bishop pair, which can be very powerful in open positions. Sacrifices can also be defensive, like removing a dangerous piece or blocking a critical file to stop an attack. When deciding if an exchange sacrifice is worth it, you need to evaluate what you gain beyond material. Look at piece activity, pawn structure, king safety, and the overall flow of the game. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. Each position is different. Experienced players develop a sense for when the imbalance created by a sacrifice favors them. These sacrifices matter because they show that what pieces do on the board is more important than just their point value. They force both players to think differently and adapt to new conditions. Mastering when and how to make exchange sacrifices is a key part of understanding middle game strategy. It's about turning static material into a dynamic battle where activity and timing decide the outcome.